Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today our topic is the property. We will continue the properties of potassium dichromate. Properties chemical. इसकी physical properties, we have already discussed the physical properties of the potassium dichromate. Now today we will discuss the chemical properties of potassium dichromate. Chemical properties. The first chemical property is action on heat. On heating potassium dichromate, it decomposes and it forms potassium chromate. On strong heating, it decomposes potassium chromate. So K2 and chromic oxide, K2Cr2O7, on strong heating it forms K2Cr O4 plus Cr2O3 plus O2. So we will balance the reaction 4 times K2 because we have to multiply O3 by 2 so that it becomes O6. So 4 times Cr, 4 times Cr means we are taking the 8 times 4 times K2, 4 times K2, it becomes 4 times, now we will multiply it by 2, it is 4 times 4 plus 4, 8 times K2, K, it is 8 times, now 4 7s are 28, 28 times oxygen, here we have 16 and we have 6, 22, 28, we will take out 22 from 28 means 6, that means we have 3 times oxygen. तो इस तरह से ये reaction balance हो गई. 4 7s are 28 times oxygen. On the left hand side we have 16 times and 6 22 times and 6 28 times of the oxygen. The reaction gets balanced. This is chromic oxide and this is potassium chromate. Number second is action of alkalis. Upon heating with the alkali, it forms potassium chromate and yellow color K2Cr2O7 gets changed into orange color, into yellow due to formation of K2Cr4. So we will take the reaction K2Cr2O7 plus KOH. अगर हम इस पोटेशियम डाइक्रोमेट को एल्कली से हीट करते हैं, we will take the alkali like potassium hydroxide. Upon heating, it forms K2CrO4 plus H2O. Now K2Cr2 will multiply it by K2Cr2O7 plus KOH. It forms K2CrO4 plus water, potassium chromate. We will balance the reaction twice. We will take twice. Four times K2 4 times twice, we will multiply it by twice. So K2 4 times K2, K2 4 times Cr2 times 2 4s are 8 plus water twice H2O8. 2 4s are 8 times oxygen and 1 time oxygen, 9 times oxygen. We have 7 times and 2 times oxygen. This is potassium chromate, and it is orange color gets changed into yellow. But on acidification of the solution, when this potassium chromate is treated with H2SO4, it again forms K2Cr2O7 plus K2SO4, K2Cr2O7 plus K2SO4 plus H2O. You see the reaction gets balanced. यहाँ K जो है, it is 4 times K2 times 2 times 4 times K, and the chromium we have 2 times, chromium 2 times, oxygen 8 times, 7 times and 1, 8 times, sulfate 1, sulfate 1, hydrogen 2, hydrogen 2. So again this yellow color gets changed into the orange. So the orange color of the potassium dichromate is again formed when this potassium chromate is acidified. Again we will discuss the reaction. जब ये potassium dichromate को alkali से heat up करते हैं, we get this potassium dichromate gets changed into the potassium chromate and the water is liberated. This potassium chromate, the color changes from orange to yellow. Again, when this potassium chromate is acidified, the color of the solution, new solution formed, gets changed from yellow to orange. That means it is due to the formation of the potassium dichromate is again formed from potassium chromate when it is acidified. Now the next reaction is formation of chromyl chloride. The third reaction, formation of chromyl chromyl chloride. When potassium dichromate is heated with NaCl in presence of H2SO4, when the potassium dichromate is heated with the sodium chloride in presence of the H2SO4, red vapors of the chromyl chloride are liberated. So we get KHSO4 plus NaHSO4 plus CrO2Cl2 plus water. We'll balance the reaction. We'll take twice, we'll take 4 times, KHSO4 plus NaHSO4, right? तो ये भी 2 बार आ गए, this again 2 times, or we will take it 4 times, we will take it 4 times, we will take it 6 times. So you can see the reaction again gets balanced. K2, Cr2, Cr2, Na4, SO4 6 times, SO4 2 times, SO4 4 times. Now we will balance Cl. 4 times Cl, 2 4 times Cl. Now oxygen. 7 times 2 4s or 2 2s are 4, and 3 times hydrogen. 6 times 3 and 4 times oxygen and 6 times hydrogen. 3 and 2 6 times, 6 and 4 10, 10 and 2 12 times. So this is chromyl chloride. तो जब पोटेशियम डाइक्रोमेट को हीट किया जाता है with the sodium chloride and in presence of the acid like sulfuric acid, we get the red vapors due to the formation of the chromyl chloride. Also in the reaction, potassium bisulfate and sodium bisulfate along with the water are also formed. So this is the reaction of potassium dichromate with the sodium chloride. Number 4 reaction is reaction with HCl. So potassium dichromate upon reaction with the HCl liberates chlorine. So we get KCl plus CrCl3 plus Cl2 plus H2O. Now we will balance the reaction. We will take 2 times, and we will take 2 times Cr. This potassium chloride, chromium trichloride, chlorine gets liberated and the water is formed. We have 7 times water, 7 times oxygen, so we will multiply it by 7 times. so that the oxygen on both sides becomes same. We have 7 times hydrogen, 7 2s are 14, we will multiply it by 14 times. Now 2 times Cl, 6 times Cl, okay, 8 times, तो 14 में से 8 निकालेंगे, 6 times, 3 times Cl2. So, upon heating with the HCl, potassium dichromate, it liberates chlorine. So chlorine gas is liberated with the formation of potassium chloride, chromium trichloride, and the water. So this was the second reaction. Next reaction with HCl. Now the important reactions, oxidation reactions. Oxidation reactions. This potassium dichromate acts as a strong oxidizing agent in acidic medium. So in acidic medium, potassium dichromate acts as a strong oxidizing agent. So, some of the oxidizing reactions of these potassium dichromate are: number 1, it oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur. It liberates iodine from iodides. It converts sulfides into sulfates. It oxidizes ferrous salts to ferric salts. So we will discuss these reactions, oxidation reactions of potassium dichromate. Oxidation reactions. First, in the acidic medium, what happens when potassium dichromate is acidified? It liberates nascent oxygen, and due to the liberation of the nascent oxygen, it acts as a powerful oxidizing agent. Now, potassium dichromate, our first reaction, it oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur. So we will take these reactions in the 2 steps. In the first step, this potassium dichromate upon acidification liberates nascent oxygen, and it is this nascent oxygen which reacts this hydrogen sulfide and converts it into sulfur. So K2SO4 in presence of H2SO4 forms K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 whole thrice plus H2O plus O2. Again, I will write it here so that it is visible. K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 whole thrice plus water plus O2. Now we will balance the reaction first. K2SO4, K2SO4, Cr2SO4, Cr2SO4. That means we have 4 times SO4, 4 times SO4, and we will multiply it by 4 times. Now we have 4 times oxygen, we have 7 times oxygen, and it is not O2, it is the nascent oxygen, and we have 3 times nascent oxygen. Sorry for it. Now it is this nascent oxygen. Now we will write hydrogen sulfide. The reaction is it oxidizes hydrogen sulfide to sulfur. So H2S plus O, it forms H2O plus S. Now we have to write the overall reaction. While writing the overall reaction, we have to see the number of the nascent oxygen is liberated, and जितने nascent oxygen liberate होते हैं, those are all consumed by this hydrogen sulfide. So here we have only the reaction is balanced, the second one, but here in the first reaction on the right hand side we have 3 times nascent oxygen, and we have to multiply this reaction by 3 so that we will cancel the nascent oxygen. The second reaction becomes thrice H2S plus thrice O becomes thrice water plus thrice sulfur. So left hand side, when we will add the two half reactions, thrice nascent oxygen and thrice nascent oxygen on both sides, they will cancel. So the overall reaction will be K2Cr2O7 plus H2S. Now we have 3 times H2S plus 4 times H2SO4 gives K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 whole thrice plus 4 times water and 3 times water, 7 times water plus thrice S. This way the hydrogen sulfide is oxidized to sulfur. Now the second reaction is it liberates iodine from iodides. So again the same reaction, K2Cr2O7 plus H2SO4, it forms K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 whole thrice plus 4 times water plus 3 times oxygen, and this is 4 times H2SO4. Now we will take potassium iodide. It liberates iodine from iodides. Now our iodide is potassium iodide. Potassium iodide, and in presence of H2SO4, it reacts with the nascent oxygen. It forms K2SO4 plus K2SO4 plus H2O plus I2. H2O plus I2. The reaction is balanced. KSO4 1 times, hydrogen 2 times, hydrogen oxygen 1 time, oxygen 4 and 1 5 times, 4 and 1 5 times. Now we have to write the overall reaction, and we have to see in the first reaction we have 3 times nascent oxygen, and in the second we have 1 time. So we will multiply it by 3, and the overall reaction will be K2Cr2O7 plus 4 times 4 times H2SO4 plus 3 times H2SO4, that means 7 times H2SO4 plus 3 into 2, 6 times potassium iodide. This and this gets cancelled and it gives K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 whole thrice. Now we have K2SO4 1 time and 3 times, that means we have 4 times K2SO4. Cr2SO4 plus 4 times water, 3 times water, because we have to multiply the whole reaction by 3, so 4 और 3 7 plus 7 times water plus 3 times iodine. So iodine is liberated when the iodides get oxidized by the potassium dichromate. Next reaction, it oxidizes sulfites to sulfates. Now we will take a sulfide, again the same reaction, K2Cr2O7 upon acidification, it forms K2SO4 plus chromium sulfate Cr2SO4 whole thrice plus the nascent water plus nascent oxygen is 3 times liberated. When we balance it, it is 4 times K2SO4, 4 times water and this. Now, we will take this hydrogen sulfide, sodium sulfide Na2SO3. This is sodium sulfide with the oxygen, it forms Na2SO4, sodium sulfate. This is sulfite. Sodium sulfite. This is sodium sulfate. And the overall reaction, it is Na2SO4. The reaction is balanced. We have to multiply it by 3. And the overall reaction becomes K2SO4, K2Cr2O7 plus 4 times H2SO4 plus 3 times Na2SO3 plus ये और ये cancel gives K2SO4 plus Cr2SO4 whole thrice plus thrice Na2SO4. This is sodium sulfate. So sodium sulfite gets converted into sodium sulfate. Now again, one more important reaction of oxidation reaction of the potassium dichromate is that ferrous sulfate gets oxidized to ferric sulfate, or the ferrous salts get oxidized in terms of ferric sulfate. So next property is that it oxidizes this fourth ferrous sulfate to ferric sulfate. Again, potassium dichromate upon acidification, we will write this reaction first, that potassium dichromate upon acidification liberates nascent oxygen. It liberates nascent oxygen. Now, ferrous sulfate, FeSO4, upon in presence of H2SO4 with this, in presence of this, which is nascent oxygen, which gets liberated in the first half reaction, it forms Fe2SO4 whole thrice, and plus will multiply it by twice plus H2O. First we balance this half reaction, Fe2, SO4 2 times and 1 times 3 times plus water. Now the overall reaction will be, again in the second reaction, on the left hand side we have nascent oxygen 1 times, and here we have to multiply it by 3 so that the nascent oxygen on the left and the right hand side get cancelled, and the overall reaction will be K2 Cr2O7 potassium dichromate plus H2SO4 4 times, H2SO4 3 times, because the whole reaction gets multiplied by 3. 7 times H2SO4 plus 3 into 2, 6 times FeSO4. This is ferrous sulfate, forms K2SO4 potassium sulfate plus Cr2SO4 whole thrice plus Fe2SO4 3 times Fe2SO4 whole thrice plus 3 times 4 times 7 times water. Now the question is how it is ferrous and how it is ferric. This can be shown by taking their oxidation state. The sulfate exists in the form of 2 minus oxidation state, and the ferrous in the ferrous sulfate, Fe in FeSO4 exists as Fe2 plus. So here we have Fe2 plus. Upon oxidation, sulfate minus 2 and 3 minus 6, and iron has here in the ferric oxide, it has plus 3 oxidation states, so that 2 and 3 become a 6 plus 6 and plus 6 cancel. So ferrous gets oxidized to Fe2, gets oxidized to Fe3, so it loses electron, it gets oxidized, and it forms Fe3 plus in ferric sulfate. So Fe2 plus gets changed to Fe3 plus. That means the ferrous gets oxidized, it gets changed into the ferric. So these were the oxidizing properties of the potassium dichromate, some of the important properties of potassium oxidizing properties, and the other chemical reactions of the potassium dichromate.